Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Survivor's Sanctuary with Susan. This is episode 4. We are going to talk about fawning, when safety meant losing yourself. I am really glad you're here today. But before we begin, I want to acknowledge that some topics may feel tender, especially for listeners in unsafe or abusive relationships. You are not responsible for anyone else's behavior, and your safety comes first. I'm a trauma-informed coach. I am not a licensed therapist, and this podcast is for education and for support, not crisis care. Nothing shared here is meant to encourage actions that could put you at risk, so please take only what feels supportive and prioritize your safety first. As always, this is a space where nothing is required of you. You're welcome to listen quietly, to pause, to come back later, whatever your body needs. Let's start by taking one gentle breath together. In through the nose and out through the mouth. No effort, just notice your breath. Now, have you ever found yourself saying yes when every part of you wanted to say no? Have you ever felt responsible for other people's emotions, their moods or reactions? Or maybe you've noticed that setting boundaries feels terrifying even when you know they're necessary. If so, I am here to let you know there's nothing wrong with you. Today we're talking about fawning, a trauma response that often develops in environments where safety depended on being agreeable, quiet, helpful, or emotionally available. This episode is about understanding fawning with compassion and recognizing how it lives in the body and beginning to reclaim your needs gently, safely, and at your own pace. So what is fawning and what is it not? Well, fawning is one of the 4 primary trauma responses along with fight, flight, and freeze. It develops when you feel conflict and unsafe, when there's anger from others and it makes you feel threatened, or when love feels conditional. The nervous system learns, if I make myself smaller and more pleasing and more accommodating, I will be safer. Fawning is not kindness. It is not generosity, and it is definitely not weakness. Actually, it's a brilliant survival strategy. And if you're listening to this, it has likely helped you survive something very real. In emotionally manipulative or narcissistic relationships, fawning is often reinforced. You may have learned to anticipate needs before they were spoken. You may have learned to manage someone else's emotions. And you may have learned to avoid saying anything that might upset them. And you also may have learned to apologize even when you were the one that was hurting. Over time, the nervous system associates self-expression with danger, so the body stays tense, the throat tightens, the chest contracts, and slowly the connection to your own needs begins to fade. Not because they aren't there, but because it didn't feel safe to feel them. So let's meet the fawning part from an internal family systems perspective. We all have parts, and fawning is a protector part. And this part of you believes, if I keep everyone happy, then we'll be okay. It's not trying to harm you. It is trying to protect you from abandonment, rejection, or emotional danger. Healing does not mean getting rid of this part. Healing means helping it understand that you have more resources now, that you have a choice, that safety no longer requires self-abandonment. Now, when we talk about emotional abuse and how it lives in the body, it's important to understand your protector parts, especially through internal family systems. So one common protector part, as I just mentioned, is fawning, which essentially is people-pleasing. And this response is often learned early in life, and it's very, very common with highly empathic people. If you think about it, when someone close to you is emotionally dysregulated, whether you're 5 years old or 55, it doesn't matter. An empathic nervous system will often do whatever it can to restore calm. That can look like people-pleasing and over-functioning or fawning to help the other person settle. And once they do, your body finally feels safe enough to settle too. At any cost, your system created a protector to help you survive the chaos and to find regulation. So as you can see, this protector part is a friend, not an enemy. When we begin to recognize this pattern, it becomes possible to learn new ways of moving through difficult moments, ways that don't require rescuing or abandoning ourselves just to create peace. Now, we will explore more of this in future episodes, but for now, I invite you over the next week to gently notice when this protector part shows up. See if you can simply acknowledge the fawner part for how hard it works to keep you safe. On a personal note, I've been a people-pleaser fawner for most of my life. I likely learned it young, but I became especially skilled at the fawn response in a relationship that lasted over 40 years. And when I realized that my body had been protecting me with this fawning part, something shifted. I no longer saw myself as weak. I understood that I was adaptive, I was resilient, I was doing what I needed to do to survive in that relationship. Today, that same protector has a new role. It doesn't need to be the fawner anymore, and instead what it does is it helps me set boundaries, stay strong and firm in them, and to honor them. And just know, very gently, as you approach this, you can do the same. Now, how does fawning live in your body? Well, fawning often shows up somatically as tightness in your throat or clenching your jaw. Some people have TMJ. You might have shallow breathing. You might find that you have tension in your chest and your shoulders are just super tight and raised up high. And you might have digestive issues, immune issues, fatigue, and different things that can make your body react to everything you're holding in just to please someone else. The body's working hard to stay attuned to others, often at the cost of attunement to self. And the body remembers. This is why boundaries aren't just a mindset shift. They're a nervous system experience. So let's do a gentle practice together, and we'll call it reclaiming your no. Now, if this doesn't feel right today, you can simply listen, and if it feels okay, then please join me by placing one hand on your chest or your belly. And let's take a slow breath in. And through your mouth, gently let that breath out. And now silently repeat after me. You can say this in your mind or you can say this out loud. Right now, I am safe enough to listen to myself. Now bring awareness to your throat. notice if there's any sensation there. Tightness or warmth or even nothing at all. There's no need to change it. Now quietly, just in your mind, say the word no. Notice what happens in your body. Now say the word yes. Again, notice what you feel in your body. There is wisdom in these sensations. Your body knows the truth, even when your voice has learned to hide it. Now, if it feels supportive, let's do a little emotional freedom technique tapping. Let's begin by gently tapping on your collarbone, and you can repeat after me. As you're tapping, you want to repeat these words. Even though I learned to fawn to stay safe, I honor how this protected me. And I am open to learning new ways of being safe without losing myself. And I am open to learning new ways of being safe without losing myself. And breathe in and a long, slow breath out, and just let that land. Now, if it feels safe and comfortable, close your eyes for a moment and imagine a beautiful, gentle warmth moving into your throat and your chest, into your throat chakra and your heart chakra. And you might even see some beautiful colors floating down into your throat and chest. Not forcing any words, not demanding any expression, just creating a safe space. And this is your body learning that it can exist without performing, that it can be enough without pleasing, and giving it permission to just rest and honor self. Take a deep breath in and release through your mouth. Open your eyes and just take in your surroundings. Feet on the floor, grounding. Now, one of the most powerful shifts in healing from fawning is this realization. You are allowed to disappoint others and still be safe. Boundaries are not punishments, they are information. And each small moment of self-honoring builds confidence, not through force, but through experience. Now let's just talk a little bit about the energy this week with astrology and numerology. As we move into the first week of February of 2026, I want to offer a gentle look at the energetic themes through both astrology and numerology, especially for anyone healing from fawning patterns, emotional abuse, or people-pleasing survival responses. I always like to remind listeners that astrology and numerology, they're not about predicting your fate or telling you what to do. They're simply tools for reflection that can help you tune into cycles of growth, self-awareness, and healing. And just know that this energy from the planets and the numbers, they're here to support you. Not control you, just to offer support. So in numerology, we're in a universal year 1, which means everyone is experiencing the energy of the number 1. Everyone has personal years that can be 1 through 9, and that's just like an added component to the universal year. But right now we're talking about this for everyone, so it's the universal year of 1. And that energy of the number 1 represents new beginnings, fresh starts, independence, and stepping into self-leadership. And this is especially meaningful for those recovering from fawning, because fawning is often a pattern where we've learned to abandon ourselves in order to feel safe, to feel accepted, or to keep peace around someone emotionally unstable. A universal year one is like a cosmic reset. It's like an invitation to begin again, to reconnect with your own voice, and to start taking small steps towards choosing yourself. Now, astrologically, this first week of February also carries some powerful themes. On February 1st, we experience a full moon in Leo. Leo is a sign of the heart, authenticity, visibility, and self-expression. Full moons often illuminate what's ready to be released and can bring the emotions to the surface, and it opens up the awareness. So this Leo full moon can gently highlight the ways you may have dimmed your light, the way you may stay quiet or overperform emotional safety in order to avoid conflict or rejection. This is a beautiful time to ask yourself, where am I still shrinking myself just to be liked? Where am I still performing peace instead of living in truth? The Leo full moon reminds you that healing includes allowing yourself to be fully seen, not through perfection, but through honesty. Another major influence right now is Neptune's recent move into Aries, which began at the end of January. Neptune's the planet of intuition, spirituality, subconscious patterns, and emotional sensitivity. And Aries, well, Aries is the sign of identity, courage, and forward movement. Neptune in Aries begins a long cycle of dissolving old identity scripts, especially those rooted in fear or survival. So for someone healing from fawning, this transit can support the process of separating from the version of yourself that was built around pleasing and fixing or managing others. It invites you into a new relationship with your inner knowing, where intuition becomes something embodied, something brave, something that helps you take action instead of disappearing. And during this week, Mercury also begins shifting into Pisces, which can enhance emotional insight, inner reflection, and subconscious healing. This is a supportive time for somatic practices, emotional freedom tapping and meditation and Reiki or any gentle work that helps you reconnect with your nervous system and your inner world. The energy is very much about soft awareness and spiritual renewal, and learning to listen inward instead of constantly scanning outward for safety. So if you're moving through healing from fawning, the first week of February carries a powerful message. This is a new beginning year, and you are allowed to start again. You're allowed to take up space. You are allowed to practice boundaries, authenticity, and emotional courage, one small step at a time. Let this week be about beginning to choose yourself, not through force, but through gentle intention. Even the smallest act of self-honoring is a new beginning. So what can you do this week to honor yourself and step into your true self without losing yourself in fawning? I'd like you to write some ideas down that you can do. Take it slow, and please be kind to yourself. This is not a pass or fail. This is you taking back your power one small step at a time. And if you find yourself back in old patterns fawning, just be aware of it. Hold space for yourself. Be kind, and know that you'll have more opportunities to do better next time. This week, I also invite you to practice something else that's very small. Before responding to a request, I'd like you to pause. Place a hand on your body, anywhere. Just connect your hand to some part of your body and ask, what does my body need right now? You don't have to act on it. Listening is enough. Now, as you move through this week, I want you to remember something deeply important. The fact that you are becoming aware of your patterns, your nervous system, and your healing is already proof of your strength. Fawning was never a flaw. It was a survival response, a protector that helped you feel safe in moments when you didn't have many options. But my friend, you are not stuck there anymore. You are worthy of change. You are worthy of softness, of peace, of love that doesn't require you to shrink or perform or earn your safety. This week, let faith be louder than fear. Let faith in your body's wisdom, faith in your ability to grow, and faith that you can create a life where you no longer abandon yourself to keep others comfortable is what you take charge in. One small step, one breath, one loving choice at a time. You are coming home to you, and that is powerful. And if you're ready for deeper support, I do work with clients who are learning to reclaim their voice, their body, and their sense of self at a pace that feels safe. You will find a link to my website below if you would like to find out more information, or even if you want to email me or do a discovery call. I would love to do that with you. And for those of you who would like a guided meditation, returning to yourself, healing the fawn response with a little bit of astrology and numerology mixed in, I hope you will join us and find a comfortable place as we begin this process now. As always, please only take what feels supportive. And if at any moment this practice doesn't feel safe or comfortable in your body, you can simply return your attention to the room around you by opening your eyes and pausing this episode. But if you're able, I'd like you to allow yourself to settle into a comfortable position, maybe letting your shoulders soften, unclenching your jaw, sitting or lying down, whatever feels safest today. And if it feels okay, place one hand over your heart and one hand over your belly or even your thighs. Taking a slow breath in through your nose, pausing gently, and then a longer exhale through your mouth. Again, inhale through the nose and exhale slowly through the mouth. The long exhale tells your nervous system, I am not in any danger right now. I want you to understand that you are not here to perform. You are not here to please. You are here right now just to be with yourself. Let your eyes gently soften or close, and bring awareness to the room around you with your eyes closed by noticing just one sound. Notice one sensation of touch, and notice one point of contact between your body and the surface beneath you. Your nervous system is learning something important. You do not need to monitor anyone else right now. This is your time. There is no emotional temperature to manage here. No one's mood determines your safety in this moment. And as you feel your body relaxing even deeper, letting go, bring your attention to your chest and your throat and your belly. These are often the places that tighten when you feel the urge to smooth things over, anticipate needs of others, the urge to explain yourself, or to keep others comfortable so that you can feel safe. Begin by noticing any tightness pulling forward or collapsing inward. There is nothing wrong with you. Your body learned, if I stay agreeable, I stay connected. If I manage emotions, I stay safe. That was adaptive. That was intelligent. And it was costly. And just let that be acknowledged right now. Now bring to mind the part of you that fawns, that protector part. That part that overgives. The part that loses itself to keep love. Begin to sense where this part lives in your body. Silently say to it, I see how hard you've worked. You protected me when saying no felt dangerous. You kept me connected when withdrawal or rage were real threats. Now let this part know you don't have to disappear. You don't have to carry everything alone anymore. You can begin starting a new role by helping me set boundaries. I still want you around because I am not rejecting you. I am just relieving you of this job and giving you a new one that's more positive and uplifting. Now begin to imagine a gentle, steady boundary around your body. Not a wall, not armor, more like a soft, firm outline. Your shape, your space. It's smooth and silky, soft and gentle. And this boundary allows connection without collapse. It lets love in, but it does not require self-betrayal. As you inhale, feel your body just gently expand into this space. And as you exhale, feel yourself stay rooted and grounded. Knowing that you are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to have limits. Now, gently bring to mind the belief, I am responsible for how others feel. Notice how your body reacts to this thought. Now gently offer a new truth. Other people's emotions are not emergencies for my nervous system. Other people's emotions are not emergencies for my nervous system. Feel that land, not intellectually, just physically. Let it land and feel it. Now imagine placing the weight of managing others' feelings down. You don't throw it away, you simply set it down beside you. Because you can care without carrying the load. Now, if it feels supportive, I'd like you to gently begin tapping on your collarbone. And as you tap, repeat softly after me. Even though I learned to fawn to survive, I honor how I adapted. I am allowed to say no without losing love. Boundaries do not make me unsafe. My worth is not earned through self-abandonment. I can stay connected while staying myself. Now just breathe and let these words settle into your body not your mind. Now, if your body, and you can stop tapping at this moment and just relax your hands on your heart or your thighs or your belly. Now, if your body has learned to orbit around narcissistic or emotionally unsafe people, it learned to seek approval as survival. Now imagine turning your attention inward and feel the steady presence of you at the center. You no longer need to shrink to avoid conflict. You no longer need to explain your boundaries. A calm no is enough. A grounded pause is enough. Your presence does not require permission. I want you to feel your spine gently begin to lengthen with strength. Feel your feet grounding. This is embodied self-trust. And as you stay in this powerful self-trust, imagine a warm, grounded energy filling your core. It's not loud, it's not aggressive, it's steady and rooted. And this energy says, I belong to myself. I do not need to earn safety. I am worthy even when I disappoint others. Your confidence is not performance, it is alignment. And as we enter this new universal year one energy, imagine that you are standing at the beginning of a fresh path. Not a path of perfection, but a path of returning. Returning to your truth, returning to your voice, returning to yourself. And with the light of the Leo full moon above you shining brightly down on you, gently imagine a warm glow in the center of your chest, a steady heart light, a reminder that you are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to be real. You are allowed to be seen. Now softly bring to mind any part of you that learned to fawn. The part that learned to stay small, to stay safe. The part that learned to please, to survive. And just offer that part compassion. Thank you for trying to protect me. Thank you for helping me through this. And I am safe enough now to begin again. And I am safe enough now to begin again. Take another slow breath in through your nose and gently exhale, nice and slow, letting go. And as Neptune moves into Aries, imagine your inner knowing awakening, not loudly, not forcefully, but gently, like a quiet strength rising in your body. You might ask yourself, what does courage feel like inside of me? What does truth feel like inside me? And without rushing, allow your body to offer even the smallest answer. Now imagine yourself taking one small step forward, just one. Not toward proving, not toward honoring, but toward self-leadership, toward healing, toward wholeness. And silently repeat, I release the need to abandon myself. I am learning to choose me. I am allowed to begin again. And stay here for one more gentle breath as you breathe in and slowly exhale out through your mouth. Gently bringing awareness back to your body and back to the room, beginning to move your hands and your feet, knowing that fawning was not weakness, it was survival. And now your body's learning something new. That you can be safe without disappearing. You can be loved without managing. And you can set boundaries and remain whole. And you can return to this meditation whenever your body needs reminding. Now, before we close, notice that you showed up for yourself today, and that matters. Next week, we'll be talking about trauma bonds, why leaving abusive relationships can feel harder than staying, and how to begin releasing the attachment without shame or self-judgment. Until then, be gentle with yourself, be kind to your nervous system, and please remember to take only what feels supportive for you. Move at your own pace and prioritize your safety above all else. You are allowed to protect yourself, and you are not alone. You didn't lose yourself. You protected yourself, and you can come home now, slowly, safely, and in your own time. Thank you for sharing this space with me in Survivor's Sanctuary with Susan. Till next time, have a wonderful week ahead. Love and hugs.